this is Mona. Today I'm going to show you how I make this apron. And it's a free pattern from Hey Jude, which I will put in the description box, a link to the instructions and the downloadable pattern. It's really easy. It takes 1.5 yards of fabric. So after you cut it out, you'll have this. And you will cut it on the fold. So now I am just going to take right sides together, the strap from over there, cross it to the other side, and clip that together. And take this side from the opposite side over here and clip that together. And I'm just going to stitch those on. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch seam allowance. I don't know what the pattern calls for, but that's what I'm going to do. No, actually I'll do 5/8 because that'll give me more wiggle room for what I plan on doing. Of course, back stitch at the front and the back. And line this up a little better than what I have it. All right. Same stitch length. Okay, so here is my seam. Now, I'm going to open the seam up, and I'm going to cut. I'll show you down here. I'm going to open the seam up, and I'm going to cut this one down to about 1/8 of an inch. Then I'm going to fold this one over and over again and sew that exposed edge shut. Just be careful you don't cut through the other side. Been there and done that. All right, so that's cut. Now I'm going to fold it in half and in half again, then open it up and then stitch it down. Well, you should open it up anyways. And you could press it if you want. So I'm going to enclose that seam inside there. I put that little scraggly piece out and then over. Okay, and there you have a finished seam on the inside. There's no raw edges on either side. Now I'll do it to the other side as well, as soon as I find it. Where are you, buddy? Okay. And so we're going to open that up, and I'm going to cut the right side down to 1/8 of an inch. Okay, that's done. Now open it up, lay it down flat. Now you're going to push what you cut into that seam, cover it up, and then fold it over and stitch it down. So you're basically making like a little mini binding, you know, a double fold there, and it just encases all the raw edges. And it doesn't matter if it's perfectly straight. Nobody's going to see it. Okay. Now basically that's it to your apron. But I am going to put binding on mine. So let me see here. Oh, this has got to go like that. Okay, there we go. All right, so there's your apron. And it calls for commercial binding, but I'm not going to use commercial binding. I thought it would be cute just to make my own binding with strips of the polka dot. And so I'm going to do that. I also have a pocket I need to sew on. I probably should have done that first before the shoulders, but it didn't work out that way. So I am just going to sew these strips together flat. I'm not going to, you know, do the diagonal. I'm just going to sew them together straight. And I'm going to trim that seam allowance down. That was just the selvages anyhow. Okay, and I'm going to go on to the next one. And this is just cotton fabric, no bias or anything. You could buy bias binding. Might as well get that thread. Oh, there's Lacey. She heard a car go by. Ruffity, rough, rough, rough. She's got a bark. She's a barker. Yes, she is. A barking machine. Yeah, this says to use single fold bias per the pattern. I'm going to use double fold because I didn't read that until after I cut my binding. So I'm just going to use that. And I want a nice wide strip of polka dots going around my apron. I just think it'll look cute, cute, cute because I love me some polka dots. So let me make sure that's right. And here's my last strip. And I'm not going to iron this or anything. I am just going to sew it around the front side, the right sides. And I am going to flip it to the back and sew it on. And let's hope I have enough bobbin. Alrighty. Now you could do it traditional. You could fold this in half, wrong sides together, and iron it, which I wasn't going to do, but this has a lot of wrinkles in it, so I'm going to go ahead and iron it real quick. But iron it flat, I mean. I might as well iron it in half, then I know where it's going to have to go to. I think I got out most of the wrinkles, so that's good enough for me. Now, I'm going to start my binding right on this where I cut the two and put them together, I'm going to start my binding there. And of course, I'm going to leave a tail. Actually, I'm going to start it a little from there. I don't want that seam to get too bulky. Alright, so now we're putting on the binding. Just pretend like it's however you want it to do. And I'm going to do a 1/2 inch on the front, because I want to see my binding on the front. So I'm going to do that all the way around. And I'm doing right sides together, in case you couldn't see what I'm doing. Let me make, oh, I don't know where my mouse is, so. Okay, let me keep this at 1/2 inch. I have 1/2 inch tape here and up there, the line. And you don't want to pull anything, you just want to line it up and sew. Alright, where is this going? Where it goes, nobody knows. Well, it's going right there. Make sure I have bobbin thread. I don't want to sew a whole apron with no bobbin thread. And if I can, I'll speed up the sewing part in the video, or take some out, so you're not just do, or I could do it as an ASMR. And I'm just, make sure your pieces aren't getting caught when you do it. I almost ran over one of the crisscrosses. Okay, get out of the way, get out of the way. Now I see maybe why she did single bias. It would be easier just to slip it in and go. But I like to be difficult. And I don't know if I cut enough or not. I just kind of guessed. Well, that one's not over there. That one binding piece was off a little bit, but I will check it when I go to fold it over. To make sure everything's there. Alright. Make sure I don't go over the same one twice. I made a similar pattern like this with the lining, but to me it was just too thick I would roast to death in the kitchen. Or, you know, if I was sewing with this on to avoid threads or whatever. Okay, line up. That's the main thing. Just line up and get it close enough as you can. That one went off the 1/2 inch. Oh, it looks like we're going on the other side now. Okay, I see how it goes. Yeah, just keep it lined up and best you can. And just keep going around with your binding. I've never made this before, so we'll see if it turns out or not. It's kind of hard to see what I'm doing with all these polka dots. They're really bright. I love it. And these are fun to make, and I have some ideas for some different ones. Hi, Lacey. It's the mailman. He's not gonna hurt you. Mailmans don't really like little doggies. No, I'm just kidding. They love you. They love you. They just don't like getting bit and barked at. Oops. Twisting the wrong thing. I need to go around here. Well, we'll see if I have enough. I don't even know where I started. I guess I'll find it when I come to it. Now that I think of it, it might be easier to add the binding before you sew it. But then again, you'd have that binding when you sew the shoulder seam. And this isn't that bad as long as you pay attention to what you're doing. You know, and keep everything out of the way. I'll see when I get there I do it. Well, I'm coming to the skirt anyhow. And this canvas that is a P. Kaufman, and man, does it it just shreds. It's another reason I wanted a thick binding. Oh, Lacey baby. Nobody wants to hear you. We know you're there. We know you're there, honey. You don't need to do that. Everybody knows you're there, girl. You're just so mouthy. You're just so mouthy. Alright, let's just go around this corner. Oh yeah, we know. Oops, I'm going way over the seam allowance. It'll be alright. I'm not going to pick it out unless it really looks wonky when I go to switch it over. And if you didn't want to do binding, you could do a double hem all the way around. You know, fold it in once and then fold it in again. But I wanted something to give it a real color of pop. My binding is a little crooked. Will I have enough? I'm gonna need one more strip, I think. I think I have another strip over there. If not, I'll cut it and be back. I'd rather have more than not enough, so I'll be right back. I don't have this camera turned on over here. Alright, do I have a rotary cutter? Yes. Oh, I don't have my 2.5-inch ruler though. That's alright, I'll be right over there to do it. The rest can be scrap city. Alright. Oh, I have a ruler here, I can use it. Get this crap out of the way. Alright, let's fold it in half, make it easier. Easier for me. I don't know if it's easier for you, but it's easier for me. And let's go. Alright. Let's go to the half mark. Oh, it's getting windy out. Well, I put those tongues on and stuff still moves. But it is what it is. I don't even care. 2. Half. Alright, I'm gonna do it like this. Straighten this up. Turn it over the other way and do it again. If I could. Hi, Henry. You're getting in your Betty Bye too, eh? 2.5. Alright, there we go. Got my strip. Long time for one strip. I know. Alright. Sorry about that. Hopefully I can edit it. I don't know if I can with this system. So I'm just going to sew this real quick to here. So let me get going. Let me back stitch. Alright, and let's put this together. For little pieces, I usually cut over on the other cutting board, but for big long ones, I cut over there, so. All right, I'm just gonna continue. I'm gonna start a little bit in from where I was, back stitch, and keep going around, making sure I'm lining up best I can. Thought I was gonna lose my scissors. Okay, and we're coming to that curve. Once I get past this curve, then I will finish it off. Okay, where's the other piece? Right there. So I am just going to do this a straight together binding. So I'm going to fold this where the stitching stops and give it a mark or a finger press. And then I'm going to do the same thing over there, like 1/8 inch apart. Finger press. And I'm going to cut some of this off of here. So it's not in the way. And then I am just going to take these two up. Whoops. Together. And stitch them across the folds. But now I can't see the fold. Let me fold this up here. There we go. Get it lined up perfectly. Well, best you can. And I'm going to go there. And I can see my line. You might not be able to see it, but I can. All right. Now, before I cut it, I like to make sure that it's not too big, and it's laying perfectly, so I am going to cut these both down. Cut this one down first. And now the other side. All right, that's cut down. So now I'm going to go back on my thing, on my apron where I left off. Back up. And I'm just going to go right over that. And back up. So now the front is on. So now let me make this a little bigger so you can see. And push you down a little bit. All right, so now what I'm going to do, it doesn't matter where I start, but I'm going to, you can take it to the iron and press all the way around. So I'm just going to take it here. I'm going to fold it so that it goes underneath. Oh, let me get it ready. Fold it in there. All right. Oops, you can't see. I just fold it down and then I stitch it over, fold it over. Just like that. Then I stitch all the way around. You could iron it if you want. I'm not going to. I'm just going to fold as it meets. Actually, I fold it down inside. I fold it right to the other stitching, on the inside, and then I put a clip. So, all right, let me get that back out of the way. And up. Okay. And now you can see what I'm doing here. Because fold it there and up out of the way doesn't really cut it. So I'm just taking it and folding it to there and then folding it over. And you don't even have to clip. You can sew a little bit and then do it as you sew. And you can do it from the front, you can do it from the back, it doesn't matter. And it should show up right on there. Alright, so I'm going to start and just sew. I'm not going to sit here and have you watch me do the whole rigmarole. I'll just sew a little bit and go. And I'm going to sew it from the front. Right there. So I can get it along the edge. And if you ironed it, it would probably be a lot better. Let me make sure it's catching on the back. It is. So, now, just folding it down and turning it over. Down, let's fold it down and over. And it's getting it on the other side. This is how I used to do my costumes. And some people say, well, you're not getting the double fold. Well, you really are, because even though you didn't sew those together, you're still folding a double width, a double of the fabric over. Make sure that one went off, so I'm gonna, or did it? Yeah, it did. So that one little piece did not get a thing there, so. All right, let me concentrate. Less talking, more. All right, get you there. And you could do this from the back. Just make sure that you're covering the stitches before. But then sometimes my front is wonky when I do it that way, so I'll do it this way, and then I won't have to worry about it. My front being wonky. Maybe my back being wonky, but not my front. So, just gonna fold and make sure it's going over there. It is. Hold it with my hand and sew right around the corner. It's a message from my mom. I gotta check it. Oh, she's just telling me I gotta get on a ladder to put something up on the porch. And she's like, don't do it alone. It's just a little step ladder, but yes, I will wait until Haley comes home. So I probably won't get to it today. And if you have trouble guessing how much to fold, you could always iron it in half and still do the same method. But this saves on ironing, it saves on clipping, saves on glue. Just saves on a lot of stuff. A lot of work is what it saves on. But you do it however you want. It's your apron. That's that. Get that out of the way. But I think it's working really good. Okay, whew. Definitely takes a while to do all this. Either way. But I still like it better than a, oh, what do you call it? A lining. And it kind of starts folding itself once you start sewing it. That one I think is folded a little too much. Alright, there we go. didn't want to have to edit, but oh my goodness. May have to cut this thing shorter. Woo-wee. Oh, there went my mouse. Oh no. I don't want to roll over it, so let me grab it. I didn't think it was over there. Hopefully it's durable. Hopefully it's durable. Alright, let me see. Where am I? Oh, clear on these still. On this side. Alrighty. Okay, let's... Well, we're getting somewhere because I see where the binding was on the other side. So I must be coming close to this end, hopefully. Or at least where I started. Nope, I still got a ways to go. A ways to go, baby. And this way, too, you can kind of feel where you need to sew as well. But like I said, I'm no expert. I just sew to have fun. There's lots of good tutorials out there. Woohoo, I'm almost done. No, not really. I thought I was done. I saw, ooh, there's binding, but no, that's the other side. And probably a smaller binding would be better too, but I wanted a big pop of binding going around the old, that blue canvasy stuff. Alright, get it on the outside. Oh, something ain't folded right here. Alright, there we go. Get past that humper-doodle. Humper-doodle. Oh, yeah, this is taking a long time, baby. Long, long time. I don't know why it's thicker on this side. I must not be folding it enough, so let me fix that. Or maybe I cut my binding wrong. I don't know. But it seems thicker. Could just be me. Maybe it's just a... Oh, I think it was just the way I was folding it. But you know what? It'll still be good. It'll still be fine and dandy. Just like cotton candy. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, we are almost done. As soon as I make it around the bottom of this skirt. Yay! But I gotta be careful because I was not folding it enough. And that's why I got the bigger binding over here. But I seriously doubt, unless it's a sewer, nobody's gonna measure my binding. Say, ooh, that binding is 1/8 of an inch bigger than the other one. I don't think. But you never know. Oh. Alright, this is the curve. You could clip your corners for your curve if you want. Almost there. Almost there. Okay, let me cut out these threads and it's finished. I do have to put a pocket on, but I'm not going to do that. This is long enough. But this goes here. This goes here. Wait a minute. Here. There we go. And it needs a good press, of course. But there's my apron. Let me make this a little bigger if my mouse still works. Okay, and there's my apron. Crisscrosses. And it's finished. Yay! Thanks for watching.